Hi, my name is Kylie LeBlanc, and I am going to share my reflection of growth as a teacher with y'all. I would just like to say, if you see me looking over here, it's because I'm reflecting on the questions and making sure I'm on the right page and not getting off track. So, it starts off with, what made you want to become a teacher, and how do you feel at this point in your journey? Let's just start out with when I was in kindergarten or like first grade, and people would ask you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was always, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And then it moved into like high school, and I had to start like thinking about it a little bit more. And I was still like, oh yeah, like that's there. I don't know. But then I got involved in the Best Buddies program through FFA and softball, and we got to play sports with them. I had classes with them. We got to hang out and like have fun. I went to a prom with one of my best buddies, and I truly just loved the relationship that I built with them, and I knew that I wanted to continue to do that in some sort of form or way. And so now I am a special education teacher, resident teacher in Bryan ISD, and I work with behavioral and emotional supports, and I couldn't love it more. I feel in this point in my journey, I have taken the steps that I need to take in order to achieve the things that I would like to achieve, as well as help the students who maybe need a little extra help or need somebody to encourage them or need a safe place or any of the things that I can be for them. I would like to be that for them. It says, what are some big takeaways from your student teaching experiences? A lot of my big takeaways would be the relationships that I built with my students. I think that is really important, especially in a behavioral setting. They have preferred teachers and stuff like that. And just watching a kid have that light bulb go off in their head and be like, oh my gosh, I understood it. Like finally somebody was able to take time and explain it to me in the way that they needed it to be explained. Like just modifying lessons and adjusting to what the student needs has been probably one of my favorite parts, because nothing will ever change in the way that I get so happy and so excited when a student finally understands something. I think that some things that went well are the teaching aspects and seeing it click in their brains. Me and my mentor teacher have a really great relationship. He's been an absolutely amazing teacher for me. Some things that didn't go well. I think I was definitely nervous walking into a behavioral teaching position just because that's a little intimidating at first. But I definitely got, with the right training and the right person as my mentor teacher and the right students that were placed in my life, I definitely think that was a obstacle that I did overcome. And now I went from the beginning of the year trying to de-escalate a student for like an hour to now that same student, me and him have gained or grown our relationship into where I can de-escalate him in about 10 minutes. And I think that that's really amazing on how much like a relationship can impact a de-escalation, or even like a small problem, like, oh, we would have had a really big reaction to this, but instead, since we were able to talk through it and get past the problem, it was a little tiny problem and we didn't have to fight all of that. What have you learned about children, teaching, and learning? I definitely think these children that I'm serving are just as much capable of doing everything else that everybody else is. They just might need a little extra help, and that is completely okay because I was one of those students too. I definitely think that you have to take every approach until you find the right one. And that's kind of what I'm there for. I mean, if the general education teacher is struggling and they need a little extra help, I'm more than willing to like step in and be like, hey, can I explain this to you differently so maybe you could possibly understand it, and then go from there. But yeah, I mean, every child deserves an education, and I'm more than willing and more than happy to help provide that for them. What are your strengths and areas you may seek professional development? I think my strengths are definitely, back to that relationship building. I'm really good with behavioral management, communication with the kids, the students, the teachers, and the parents. I talk to parents almost every single day after school. I think some areas where I need a little bit professional development is probably, I say I talk to parents all the time. I talk to them in person, but I think a phone call, like talking to them about their behaviors and so on and so forth about that, is a little intimidating, just because I always want to make sure that I'm letting the parent know just as many times as they're being good as they are when maybe we didn't make the right choices. So I want it to be a really good balance, and I want there to be more good days than not so great days. I also think that staying on top of my game and not procrastinating is something that I need to work on, but that takes time, and I will work on it. So far this year, I've been doing a lot better than I have in the past, but it's still a work in progress, and I promise I will get better. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, beyond? I hope I'm still teaching. I would imagine that I would still be teaching. I hope I'm still in the special education realm of education. I don't know if it's going to be behavioral or resource or anything like that. I do really love my elementary kids. I don't know if I could go any higher, maybe like intermediate, junior high, but I don't think that I'll ever be a high school teacher, just because, at least right now I don't feel that, but we'll see. You never know what happens. But yeah, I would like to move to a smaller school if possible. I'm at a pretty mid-sized school right now, but it really just depends, and I'm open to absolutely anything in education. You can get a job almost anywhere, so I'm definitely really excited for the future, and yeah, that was a little bit of my reflection of growth as a teacher. Thank you.